What's up, guys? It's Richie here, Statifying Football Week 4. These are your prime time games. This is when the college games is going to be at for Week 4 of 2020. The first game is at 7 o'clock, Alabama and Missouri. Alabama, they have 12 returning starters. They named Mac Jones as their starting quarterback, and after Tua got hurt, he passed for over 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, 3 picks. Running back Najee Harris ran for 1,224 yards and 13 touchdowns. Wide receiver Devontae Smith, 68 catches, 1,252 yards, and 14 touchdowns. So they got all the offense they can get there. Defense, they only have 5 starters back in defense, but they're always stout on that side. Missouri's coming off a 6-6 season. They have 11 returning starters. They're losing their quarterback, but they have a good running back in Larry Roundtree. He only ran for 829 yards last year, but the year before he ran for over 1,200 yards. They have Nick Bolton at linebacker with 107 tackles. They do have a good receiver in Damon Hazleton, grad transfer from Virginia Tech, but I think Bama shouldn't have much trouble with Missouri here. All right, North Texas and Houston. If that game isn't postponed, then it could be a pretty high-scoring game. North Texas, they lost 65-35 against SMU. Austin Aune, 276 passing, 2 touchdowns plus 1 rushing. Oscar Attaway ran for 104. They put up 517 yards there. However, they had 13 penalties, and I'm just looking at it now, and it looks like that one was postponed. So, yeah, it's taken off the slate. So, let me look here. Houston versus Lot. This is how I would research. Just yeah, canceled, of course, because Texas, you fucking morons don't know how to do your shit, especially Houston. Fucking Houston idiots. Anyway. Alright, skip that one. Houston Baptist, Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech's 1-0. They beat Southern Miss on an awesome game, 31-30. They scored a touchdown with 3 seconds left on 4th and goal. Quarterback Luke Anthony, 149 passing, 3 touchdowns. They shouldn't have. Houston Baptist got a really, really strong offense, so this could be an upset. I'm going to go Louisiana Tech here, but watch out for that one. Alright, Stephen F. Austin and SMU. SMU destroyed North Texas 65-35. Shane Buechele, 344 passing, 4 touchdowns. Ulysses Bentley ran for 227 yards and 3 touchdowns. They had 100-yard receivers. Reggie Oberson, 9 catches, 103 and 2 touchdowns. Rasheed Rice, 5 catches, 102. They put up 710 yards. They should dismantle Stephen F. Austin. And you got Vanderbilt and Texas A&M. Vanderbilt was 3-9 last year, but they do have 16 returning starters. Their kicker opted out. They lost their quarterback and their running back. They don't really have much on offense coming back. And they had a few opt out, I believe. Texas A&M, 16 returning starters. Kellen Mond, 2,897 yards, 20 touchdowns and 9 picks, plus 501 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns. Spiller ran for 946 and 10 touchdowns, but they do have one of their top receivers, Jamon Osmond. He opted out. They have a linebacker and cornerback also opt out. This shouldn't affect them in this game against Vanderbilt. They should be able to take care of business. All right, FSU 0-1. They were upset by Georgia Tech 16-13. Blackman didn't look very good. 198, 1 touchdown and pick. They only had 307 yards. They turned it over 3 times. They did block 3 kicks from Georgia Tech, but that wasn't enough to save them. Miami's looking really, really good. Derek King's a possible Heisman candidate. They beat Louisville 47-34, and it wasn't even really that close. Derek King, 325 passing, 3 touchdowns. Cameron Harris, 134 rushing and a touchdown. Tight end Jordan, Brevin Jordan, 7 catches, 120 yards and a touchdown. Defense had 3 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss, forced 3 turnovers. This is a rivalry game, but if Derek King is on his game like he has been so far this year, and that we know he can be, this may not even be close in Miami's favor. All right, Tennessee, South Carolina, possible close one here. Tennessee is ranked. They have 14 returning starters. They have Jarrett Garantano, 2,158 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 8 picks there. They had the number 29 scoring defense in the country, but they only have 5 left, so they might have to rely on their offense a little bit. South Carolina is a weird team. They're 4-8, 12 returning starters. Helinski's coming back, 2,357 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 picks. They do have a grad transfer in Colin Hill from Colorado State, so either quarterback should be okay. South Carolina, I believe, is a little bit better than their record was last year, so this will be close. I'll give the slight edge to Tennessee, but upset alert there. All right, you got Kansas and Baylor. Kansas, they lost to Coastal Carolina in their first game, 38-23. Miles Kendrick, 156 passing, 2 touchdowns as a pick. They turned it over 3 times. Baylor's weird. This is their first game. They went 11-3 last year. They only have 10 returning starters. But they do have their quarterback back in Charlie Brewer, 3,161 yards, 21 touchdowns and 7 picks, plus 11 rushing touchdowns. Middle linebacker Terrell Bernard, 112 tackles. They do have a new coach, and I think it's Dave Aranda. They shouldn't have too much problems with Kansas in this game, but this will be kind of interesting to see Baylor and how they'll be going forward. All right, a pretty big ACC game early on here. NC State against number 20 Virginia Tech. NC State, they beat Wake Forest 45-42. Bailey Hockman, 191 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. They had 2 guys go for almost 100 rushing yards. Donovan Knight ran for 97 and Ricky Person ran for 99, I believe. They ran for 270 as a team. They had 6 sacks on that game. Virginia Tech, this is their first game. They went 8-5 last year. They have 19 returning starters, one of the tops in the nation in terms of returning starters. Hendon Hooker, over 1,500 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, and 2 picks, plus 5 rushing. Linebacker Rashard Ashby, 119 tackles. They do have a lot of good players out, though. Their cornerback Caleb Farley opted out. They have 2 really good running backs coming in. Actually, a grad transfer from Kansas, Killer Herbert, and running back Blackshear from Rutgers. He can catch it out of the backfield, so they actually should be pretty stout on offense. This will be a really, really close game. Virginia Tech has 10 of those 19 on their defense coming back. They usually have a strong defense. This will be a close game, but I'll give Virginia Tech the edge. But this will be a fun one to watch. And then the last one of the night, Troy and BYU. Troy, they 1-0. They beat Middle Tennessee State 47-14. They put up 496 yards. Gunnar Watson for 248 passing, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Defense forced 3 turnovers. BYU, they're 1-0. They had a game postponed earlier. They beat Navy 55-3. Zach Wilson passed for 232, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Tyler Algier ran for 132 and 2 touchdowns, and Romney 4 catches, 134 and a touchdown. Defense had 5 sacks. They put up 580 yards of offense. Troy, both teams seems like they can move it on offense. It could be a shootout. This is a tough one. BYU, they're on upset alert, but I'll go with BYU there. All right, check out my other videos too. We had games postponed. Tulsa, Arkansas State postponed. Notre Dame, Wake Forest postponed. USF, Florida Atlantic postponed. And North Texas and Houston all postponed. Check out my other videos. Peace.